Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 8 in the 2017 NRLOA Haas IndyCar Series. We are here at the Pikes Peak International Raceway for the first time ever here in the Haas IndyCar Series for the Colorado 65K. 40 laps of action around this 1.06 mile oval racetrack in Boulder, Colorado. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the town this racetrack is located, and I'm looking forward to this one because the Indy Lights race that we had here back on Wednesday was fantastic, and I expect more of the same for these Haas IndyCar Series drivers here today. Anyways, coming into today's race in the point standings, this season has pretty much been all Matt Dalio in the number 33. He has won 3 races so far this season, the first ever 3-time winner of the series, and he's got 236 points after 7 races so far this season. That is a massive amount of points for the veteran driver there, but right behind him in the point standings, it's Jonathan Rains, only 27 points behind. I say only 27 points behind because Jonathan Rains is the only driver who has a chance at taking the points lead away from Matt Dalio in today's race. Christian Master, 52 points behind, Zachary Fitzwater, 59 points behind, and Luke Rainey, 65 points behind. Of all the guys in the top 5 in points, the only guy to have not won a race yet this season is Jonathan Rains in the number 17. Anyways, starting on the pole position for today's event, it is the number 15 of Jesse Turner, who won the first race of the season at Auto Club. He's got a good chance of getting this one here today for starting on the pole. Let's see how he does. Let's get these guys to roll off here for the Colorado 65K here at the Pikes Peak International Raceway. And this track shaped very similarly to Richmond, but the way this track races is a lot different than Richmond. And we're going to be seeing 3-4 wide on this racetrack. Basically what it is Richmond and Auto Club put together. I think that's a good way to describe this place. Anyways, number 15, Jesse Turner starting on the pole position. Alongside him, it's John Arndt in the number 11, who won the NRLOA 500 at a similar place back in Season 3 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. So John Arndt kind of knows this racetrack pretty well. We got the number 9 of Nathan Stapleton starting alongside Al Legacy, Cameron Gaju, Trey Bartow, Luke Rainey, Garrett Sinor, Noah Cars, and Jordan Lopez. The top 10 starting positions here for the Colorado 65K. Not enough time to go through the rest of the field because the pace cars pulled off. And we're ready to get this one started here at the Pikes Peak International Raceway, Green Flag Racing in Colorado. The number 15, Jesse Turner, trying to get the advantage, but here comes Nathan Stapleton in the number 9. Been a long time since we've seen him out front in any race on Napa Fan, but it looks like he's going to get this lap here. And the number 9 of Nathan Stapleton will lead lap number 1 here in the Colorado 65K. 4 wide back in here. That's Alonzo Baranowskis and Sam Adio. We had one crash in the Indy Lights race, however, it did not bring out a caution because the 2 drivers involved were able to keep their momentum after the incident. Cameron Gaju for second to the inside of Jesse Turner. He has Luke Rainey right behind him. Rainey, a big disappointment at Road America, started on the pole for that race and was going to win if he did not hit the end of the pit road like he did. A very unfortunate one there for the number 67. But Luke Rainey did win the last oval race here in the Haas IndyCar Series, that being in a similar place like this, the Richmond International Raceway. Matt Rainey right now running in the 3rd position, and I'm telling you, these guys are bumping off each other, and you really can't do that in these IndyCars. It's Garrett Tenor, Noah Cars side by side with each other there. The number 83 is going to take 4th away from the number 28. Luke Rainey has gotten around Cameron Gaju for the 2nd position. And he's going to have his eyes set on Nathan Stapleton. But Stapleton has led every single lap so far, all 4 of them, here in the Colorado 65K. Now, there will be pit stops in this race, so that'll definitely be a factor once this thing gets down to the wire. But for now, these guys should have plenty of fuel in their race cars to race as hard as they want to at the moment. They'll probably come in about the same time they came in. I say about 80% of the way through the race. Like they did at Richmond, because this is the same length as the race at the Richmond International Raceway, 65 kilometers. Luke Rainey to the inside of Nathan Stapleton for the lead. I'm telling you, these guys, I don't know how they're doing it, but they're going 3 and 4 wide constantly without any contact. I mean, they have a little bit of contact without major contact, I should say, but then again, I jinx everything, and Noah Cars and Cameron Gaudu crash. Lap 6 of the race, Audra Baranowskis, Stuart Gratton involved, Trey Bartow back in there, Cameron Garlington as well. It does appear that Luke Rainey won the race back to the line, and I'm sorry. I mean, right when I say it, they crash, and Noah Cars, the unfortunate victim of this one. Cameron Gaudu also involved. He was running up front earlier on, and some other guys involved in this one as well, like Audra Baranowskis and Stuart Gratton, who has had a terrible season. But everything is kind of normal. Trey Bartow also involved. Looks like John Arndt's coming down the pit lane. He might have gotten some contact from that incident as well. And we are under caution for the first time today here in the Colorado 65K. Now, this is where things can get really interesting. Will these guys, if they come in now, be able to make it to the end of the race without having to come in again? It's possible. So you might want to go ahead and get that fuel in and make it to the end of the race right here, so you do not have to come in again. But we're just going to have to see what these guys do here. It does appear that they are going to stay out. I don't see anybody coming in, so, oh, Matt Dalio. You know, he's got a massive points lead. He's got 3 wins this season. He kind of can almost just, you know, go on a really odd strategy here just to see what happens. And you know what? It might work out for him then, number 33. The only guy coming down the pit lane. Matter of fact, Cameron Garland also coming down. But I believe Daly is the only guy coming down the pit lane for normal service to his race car. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens to him as this race goes along. Will he be able to make it to the end without having to make another stop? That's possible. We're just going to have to see. Anyways, let's go ahead and review the crash that brought out the caution. Lap 6 of the race here in the Colorado 65K. Luke Rainey leading the field in the number 67. Coming in at turn number 4, Christian Master, Noah Cars, Jonathan Rains, and Davey Johnson almost making it 5 wide here. Noah Cars just slides up a little bit into Cameron Gaudu, and the contact was just a little too much for those guys. Not enough room, and into the outside wall they go. And Noah Cars flipping upside down, just the way he got hit. Shot that thing in a barrel roll, and Cameron Gaudu also went upside down. Pole sitter Jesse Turner involved there. Trey Bartow underneath all of this, and the number 12 was Stuart Gratton involved. You see John Arndt and Audra Baranowskis get into each other here. Baranowskis in the outside wall with John Arndt, and they're going through the wall there. Good old Enter 2003. But Noah Cars definitely taking a wild ride in that number 28, and ending on top of the number 2 of Trey Bartow in the end. Replay this one in real time, and it was not pretty for the number 28, or the number 22 at that matter. And right, as I was saying, we haven't had a crash yet in this race. They've been doing a great job. They crash. And you know what? You should not be surprised at this point, because anytime I open my mouth, something like that happens. Just get used to it. Anyways, Noah Cars is going to get knocked out, and I believe Cameron Gaudu is also going to get knocked out. But I do believe the other 23 drivers in the field are still in this thing, and that guy is leading them. Luke Rainey in the number 67, who almost got the win at Road America, and got the win the race before at Richmond, which is a similar place to this. Looking to possibly get it here at Pikes Peak in the Colorado 65K. Let's go ahead and get to the restart here at the Pikes Peak International Raceway. Back here at Pikes Peak for the Colorado 65K in the Haas IndyCar Series. And just as these guys were getting the one-to-go signal, this guy came in to top off on fuel here. Jalarbin Alonso, he might be in contention to win this thing, because he most likely will not have to make another stop in this race, but the rest of the field does, with the exception of Matt Dalio. It's Luke Rainey, Garrett Zenor, Nathan Stapleton, Chris Skinlorn, and Matt Tuck, the top 5. There goes Stapleton to the inside of Senor. And these guys majorly shaked it up coming to the line there after that caution. I do not remember seeing any of those guys running up front before the caution came out. At least with Skinlord and Matt Tuck, I should say. I knew that these 3 guys were running up front. But anyways, Nathan Stapleton not wasting any time at all. And that number 9, back to the lead here at Pikes Peak, leading lap number 11. You see the inside of Luke Rainey. Garrett Zenor right behind him, trying to grab his 19th career win here on Napa Fan. He wants to keep Caleb Hoffman behind him. Hoffman's garnered a couple of wins in the Kubota GT Championship, and he's only one win away from tying Garrett Zenor. And I don't know how much Zenor would like that number, or for Caleb Hoffman to tie him in the all-time wins list. So he'd like to get another one here to get up to number 19 in his career. And he's only got one car to pass to do so. But it's Nathan Stapleton out front. Here comes Matt Tuck in the number 98. He has a run to the inside of the 67 of Luke Rainey. The number 17 of Jonathan Rains, with a good chance at possibly getting past Matt Dalio in the points today. Only 27 behind our points leader, and you see Matt Dalio trying to move his way through the field. He did come in to top off on fuel under that caution. He was the only guy to come in under the caution, with the exception of Alonso, who came in a little bit later. Alonso will most likely not have to make another stop in this race. Dalio, I'm not 100% sure. He might have come in right at the edge, but for the rest of the field, they still have to make a stop. So for Dalio and Alonso, it's a good chance that those guys could have a good shot at winning here today at Pikes Peak. And Dalio, if he were to win, that'd be his 4th win of the season. I don't know if we've had somebody win half of the races in a season like that before. But if Dalio were to win, that's 4 in 8 races. And all you're thinking, you know, are you making a win on purpose? No, I am not. Trust me, but this guy is insane. This number 33 has really found his way through the field in all of these races so far this season. Leads the points, however, by only 27 points ahead of the guy who is right in front of him. That is Jonathan Rains in number 17 that he's battling with in the championship at the moment. Herja Larb and Alonso got a really good run there. Almost got in the Matt Dalio, and you see Alonso moving his way through the field very well. He might have fresher tires in the rest of this field. Might have taken tires there on his pit stop. He is going through this field like a hot knife through butter. And then number 27 up to 4th. With Matt Dalio up to 5th. Both of these guys came down and made pit stops under the caution. Stapleton's been able to stay out front most of this time, however, but this 33 and this 27 are closing in fast, and they're going to have a very good chance of taking this lead in the next few laps. Matt Tuck right behind the number 9 of Nathan Stapleton, however. Matt Tuck trying to get to the inside of the number 9. Not able to do so quite yet. He's going to stay right behind him. Matt Dalio for 3rd to the inside of Christian Master. He bumped him and moved him out of the way. That's like stock car racing. These guys are treating it like a stock car short track race. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It really is. And Matt Dalio to the inside of the 98 here. And you see Alonso, he is also running just as fast as Matt Dalio here. These guys took tires under the caution. Alonso's going to get to the inside of Matt Dalio. Alonso's going to take 2nd here, and he's going to easily get to the inside of Nathan Stapleton and take the lead away halfway through the Colorado 65K. And no contest for the lead there. Stapleton had led every single lap under this green flag run so far, but it's all going to change right there with Alonso leading lap number 20. Matt Dalio in the number 33 also has fresh tires. He's going to take 2nd away from Stapleton. Matt Tuck's going to take 3rd. But expect the 27 and the 33 to pull away, and it be a race between these two drivers for this one, because everybody else still has to make another stop, while these guys are probably going to be able to make it to the end of the race without having to come in again. And they took fresh tires under that caution. It has worked out so well for these two guys who came down the pit lane. I do not see Cameron Garlington moving his way through the field. He did come in under the caution as well, but I believe he has too much damage to his race car to contend with our leaders. They're trying to get around Trey Barta, who was involved in that crash, a lap-down car there in the number 2 right now. And Matt Dalio has taken the lead away from Herja Larp and Alonso. I mean, this is just unbelievable what Dalio has been doing here. It's just absolutely unbelievable. If Matt Dalio were to win, it'd be his 4th win in the Haas IndyCar Series. And if I'm not mistaken, I would believe it to be his 17th career Napa Fan win if he were to win here today. I mean, it's just amazing what this 33 has done this season, but Trust me, the ratings are completely equal for every driver. I would not make one driver win. Now, you might see these two guys pulling away from the rest of the field, but the only reason that is the case is because they took tires under the caution during their pit stops, and because of that, they got much fresher tires, much more grip to their race cars. They're able to drive the track a lot faster than everybody else who has yet to make a pit stop in this race. Alonso, the only guy who can contend right now with the number 33 of Matt Dalio. And Dalio doing a fantastic job here at the Pikes Peak International Raceway. I thought we'd have more cautions than that one that we had earlier on in this one, but that's a good thing. These guys racing it pretty cleanly right now here at the Pikes Peak International Raceway. Garrett Sonor leads the field of the guys who have yet to make a pit stop, and somebody blowing up. That's Stapleton. And around the number 9 goes as he got clipped by Zachary Fitzwater. Will that bring out the caution or not? It will not. He was not on the racing surface. And that number 9 blew up in the middle of the field, and he is done for the day after his engine expires on lap 26 of the race. It's a tough break for the number 9. Those Ganassi guys have had a tough season. Of course, one of the Ganassi guys running third right now, that's Garrett Sonor in the 83, and the other one, Nicolas Samedillo. Get those names confused way too often, but Nicolas Samedillo is also running in the top 10 right now, but for Nathan Stapleton, his engine just went kaboom, and he is done for the day here in the Colorado 65K. As for Matt Dalio, just trying to keep this 27 of Hirjalarv and Alonso behind him. But the way this one's going, only unless we get a caution. Now, if we get a caution, that is going to bring this field together. And if Dalio and Alonso stay out under that caution, these guys back in here are mostly going to take tires. But never mind, they're already coming down, so it's kind of over now. It's either going to be the 33 or the 27. Only unless the 33 or the 27 have to come in again. Now, if that happens, I don't know what's going to happen in this race and who's going to win, but if these guys have to come down the pit lane again, it is definitely going to get very interesting here at the Pikes Peak International Raceway. But right now, all these guys getting lapped, they might go 2 laps down before this whole thing is said and done. And they see Matt Dalio and Hirjalarv and Alonso, they're coming around again. It's 10 laps to go. Now, these guys here, they came in lap 28, I do believe. Either lap 20 or 29, so they went 29 laps. I do know that Matt Dalio came in about lap 7. And to the end of the race, that is over 30 laps. It is possible that he might not be able to make it, but Alonso might have a better chance because he came in coming with 1 lap to go for the restart at about lap 9, I do believe. But they are the only 2 drivers on the lead lap right now, Matt Dalio and Hirjalarv and Alonso, and are they slowing to come down the pit lane? No, they are not. But everybody else is lapped because they stayed out under the caution while these 2 guys came in. And this is a very interesting race here. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before, but it's looking pretty good for Matt Dalio right now. And I said when he went in to take that pit stop that, you know, he can almost, you know, take an odd strategy. He can almost gamble, and that's because he's done so well this season. But here's one thing that I would like to point out. All these guys who came down the pit lane with fresher tires, I mean, look at the 77. Look at the way he's going to drive around this 33. Those are the fresher tires, and they have a huge impact on this racetrack, in case you couldn't notice there. And Garlington driving away from these guys, and you see the number 33 and number 27. Now, they're the guys that are very slow. When we have the restart, they were the guys driving around everybody. But now it's going to be the other way around because everybody else has fresher tires. Well, these guys have been on the racetrack for about 20 laps with very worn tires. It's 6 laps to go here at Pikes Peak for Matt Dalio and the number 33. But he's coming down the pit lane! He was not able to make it on fuel. I kind of had a feeling that this was going to be the case because the other guys, they came in about lap 29. He had over 30 laps to go if he were to make it to the end without stopping. And now Alonso has inherited the lead. And it's possible that we could end up with a race where only one guy finishes on the lead lap. But I don't even know if Alonso can make it to the end of the race. The 27 is staying out here. Will it work for Arvin Alonso here at Pikes Peak? It's been a topsy-turvy race here at the Pikes Peak International Raceway, and these two guys who came in under the caution have made it so. Alonso trying to stretch it on fuel. That's the only thing that's holding him down. But will he have to come in? He's going to stay out here. It's going to be 3 laps to go for the number 27. He came in and topped off right at the end of the caution period. So he can make it longer than Matt Dalio. I know that much. But can he make it long enough to make it to the end of the race? That's the big question. It looks like Matt Dalio, even after all that's happened so far, is going to get a second place finish. Alonso's going to stay out for another lap. It's 2 laps to go for the number 27. Arvin Alonso looking to steal it here at the Pikes Peak International Raceway. But will he have enough fuel to make it to the end? And if he doesn't, who's going to win this thing? This one's going to get interesting here in the Colorado 65K. If he stays out here, it's most likely going to be Alonso in victory lane. He is really slow. He is massively slow on this number 27, but Alonso's going to take the white flag here at Pikes Peak. This is going to get interesting here, especially if he comes down the pit lane on the final lap, but I think this number 27 is going to be able to do it. Arvin Alonso in the number 27, coming off of turn number 4, is going to win here at Pikes Peak in the Haas IndyCar Series. The only driver to finish on the lead lap, but barely, because Jonathan Rains, who ended up finishing second, almost got his lap back there at the end. But how about that strategy play for Arvin Alonso? How about that? Came in right at the end of the caution to top off on fuel and make it to the end of the race, and it worked out for him. Arvin Alonso wins the Colorado 65K here at the Pikes Peak International Raceway. Have you ever seen a race like that before? I don't think you have, but if this thing was 42 laps long, Jonathan Rains would have probably won. But Arvin Alonso in the number 27 gets the victory in the Colorado 65K, and he can thank his crew chief for that one, telling him to come in right at the end of the caution so that he would not have to make another stop before the end of the race, and it worked for him in that number 27. Arvin Alonso grabbing the victory and lapping everybody in the field here at the Pikes Peak International Raceway. Jonathan Rains finished second, and he is going to gain on Matt Dalio. I know that second place awards 40 points towards the championship, and I do believe that 7th place, let me look here, is going to award 26 points. So it's going to be a 13-point gap between Matt Dalio and Jonathan Rains heading into the duel at Watkins Glen. The duel at the Glen, that's going to be the next event here in the Haas IndyCar Series. It's going to be Watkins Glen, a great road course there, and it's going to be a fantastic one. Back-to-back races on Wednesday for you guys at the Watkins Glen International. They're both going to be 12 laps long, and they're both going to award normal points towards the championship. So you win a race, you get 50 points, just like the rest of the season. But anyways, congratulations to Arvin Alonso. Would like to apologize about my announcing being a little off par for this race, but you know what? I think you just kind of come here for the racing. You don't really come here to listen to my crappy voice. So there you go. You know, I mean, got a good race. It was very entertaining, very fascinating to see what happened, how it all unfolded. And here Arvin Alonso grabs the victory here at the Pikes Peak International Raceway in the Colorado 65K. 50 points towards the championship for the number 27. Anyways, speaking of the championship, here are the points for the Haas IndyCar Series 2017. And I believe that is it for me. So thank you guys very much for watching. In 2 weeks, we got the Indianapolis 250. And, of course, I probably already announced the Chick-fil-A Cup Series Season 6 signups and the NRLOA Big One signups, and that is going to be on May 19th. I know at Road America I said they were going to be yesterday, but unfortunately, Wasn't able to quite do so yesterday, but next Friday night is when we're going to do it, and hope you guys get the car you want, because I know you guys are definitely looking forward to Season 6 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I certainly am, and it's going to be very fun on Memorial Day when it begins. But we still got the Indianapolis 250 to do here, and we still got to finish out the season. We got, I think, 5 races left. The duel at the Glen, the 2 races at Watkins Glen, Kentucky, the Indianapolis Road Course, and then the grand finale at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Indianapolis 250. And the guy who won this race, his logo is going to be featured for that race. Did a fantastic job on that logo, and I'm really looking forward 2 weeks from now and that 250-miler at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Anyways, I've said enough. Congratulations to Herjalarv and Alonso. Here are the points for the Haas IndyCar Series. And thank you guys very much for watching once again. I will see you guys later.